Welcome to Get Set Up. Are you ready to make learning your superpower and meet new friends? Here at Get Set Up, we've created a vibrant community that participates together in live classes instructed by older adults. To join our community, start by taking a class and unlock your own superpowers.
We're going to go ahead and drink before, during, and after today's session. Hopefully I won't have to, I will be able to remember to remind you to drink. Sometimes I don't remember. And that's typically when I'm talking quite a bit through the session and I just don't think about it. I want to put my water over here so I don't knock it down. We're working the core today. The core includes all the muscles attached to the spine. Notably, the abdominal muscles are the very foundation of the core. That's a large group of muscles. And often when people say you need to strengthen your core, that's all they think about is the abdominal muscles. But really, your core includes everything from your shoulders, your upper back, mid back, lower back, your hips, your glutes, which is your buttocks. Then coming around to the front, the hip flexors, which attach your thigh bones to your torso. And then the abdominal girdle, your diaphragm, your pectoralis major, that's the muscles in your chest, as well as your shoulders. So let's get started. We're going to attempt to address all of those muscle groups. Let's start with a little bit of a warm-up. Reaching tall, reach for the ceiling as you take a nice inhale and then exhale and blow it out. Let's take one more. Inhale, reach tall. And now I want you to be aware of the lift in your diaphragm. And as you exhale and bring your arms down, keep your diaphragm lifted and notice the tightening through your abdominals. Let's do it again. Lift the diaphragm, reach tall, and exhale. Keep your diaphragm lifted. Feel that tightening right through here. So let's begin working the transverse abdominals, which are the ones that go across horizontally, hip to hip. They are the deepest group of abdominal muscles responsible for holding your organs in place. Those are the muscles that you feel when you have a coughing attack. And then the next day you're aware that you had a little bit of an ab workout. That's from the coughing. So pull in by pulling your belly button, pressing your belly button in toward your spine. And then we're going to hold for 20 seconds. And I want you to breathe through this hold. Some people call this exercise vacuums because you are literally sucking your belly button in toward the spine and holding it. 5 more seconds. Hold right here. Be sure you're breathing and release and relax. We're going to do this twice more and we're going to just hold for those 20, 25 seconds or whatever you're able to. If you can't hold for 20 seconds, that's okay. Release when you feel led to do so. Get ready, sit up nice and tall, watch your posture, lift your diaphragm, and suck the belly button in toward the spine right here. Got that in there? Feel it pressing in. Feel those muscles tightening right across the top or the front area of your tummy, side to side, hip to hip. We're holding. Can you do 10 more seconds with me to make it 20? I think you can. Be aware of what this feels like. Make sure you're breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. As I release, I blow out to emphasize the release, but you're not holding your breath. Let's do it one last time. Pull it in. sucking that belly button in toward the spine, lift the diaphragm, continue breathing, and we're gonna hold it right there for the 20 seconds, and we've got 10 more to go. Make sure you're breathing. Sit up nice and tall. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and relax. This is an exercise you can do anytime, sitting at your desk, lying in bed, relaxing on the sofa, watching TV, anytime. And I recommend you do it every day, at least 3 times, but more if you can. All right, working now on the rectus abdominis, which is the upright muscles, the ones that create a six-pack. And we do this with forward flexion, which is that type of movement, similar to the crunches you might do if you were laying on the ground. I want you to keep your shoulders back and down, and we're going to just flex forward. I'm going to place my hands right here, and I recommend you do so too, creating a diamond around my belly button, not really pressing, but just feeling what this feels like as I tighten and curl forward, thinking about bringing the bottom of my rib cage toward my hip bones. Forward flexion and return. So rather than think about shoulders toward the knees, think about the deepest, most internal muscles right in here. Bottom of the ribs to the hip bones, forward flexion, forward and up. Let's do 8. Forward and up. Keep those elbows open if you're holding right here so that your shoulders remain back and up. Forward. Release. Here we go. Forward. Feel that flexion in the belly. And up. Bottom of the rib cage to the hip bone. And lift. 4 more. Up. 2. I meant 3. And today I can't count. That's nothing new, is it? Those of you who've been with me for a while know that I often miscount. Now we have 2 more. Here it is. Make these count. And up. Here's the last one. And release. All right. Let's work the obliques now. Those are the muscles that run right here along the side of your waist. We can work those by twisting. First of all, let's start there. You can use your hands here on the side of the chair, the side of your thigh. Release, go through center and toward the other side. Feel that contraction on the side toward your turn. Slight stretching on the opposite side. Release, back to center. Let's do 4 of these. So it's 4 each side. That was the first one. Turning to the side, feel that contraction right here along the side toward your turn. Release toward the center and back to the other side. Back to center. We have 2 more to go on each side. Through the center, over to the other side. One more to each side. Round and right here. Make sure you're breathing into these moves. Keep that diaphragm lifted. We're going to do now a side bend or a side reach. And then you're going to feel the contraction on those sides as well. So we're going to do 8 to each side. I'm going to have you just place the opposite. We're going to go to your right, first one hand on the hip, the opposite hand, and just reach out and in. Reach to the side and pull it back in. Relax your shoulders. Make sure you're breathing. Reach out. Pull in. Keep your torso facing forward. We're not twisting with this one. Reach out and in. 4 more. Side and in. Reach side. Notice that I'm reaching long to the side and not down to the side. Reach out and in. 2 more. And here comes the last one. Other side for 8. Reach and in. Torso faces forward and make sure you're breathing. Reach side and in. Four more. And here's the last one. Out and in. Great job. Someone asked last week if I would do some shoulder openers, so that I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. And here's one that I really like. Sit a little bit forward in your chair and placing your arms out in front. I want you to pull the elbow back on one arm. Pull the elbow back behind the midline of the body, and then open the forearm. Return to that position with the elbow, and then forward. Now, this depends on your own range of motion in your shoulder, but it does open up the chest and the shoulders. So elbow goes back, forearm, return, and front. Elbow back and keep it lifted, shoulder high, open and forward. Elbow back, open, return, and reach. Let's do 4 more. Elbow, open. 3 more. And 2 more. Check if your diaphragm is lifted. Back straight, nice and long. Shoulders relaxed and down. And you're breathing. And here's the last one on this side. I'm going to turn slightly so you can see the other side as I do this. Moving forward just a little bit. I have my arms out stretched in front, and I'm going to pull my shoulder back behind the midline, open up the forearm, return, and forward. Pull back, open, return, front. We're doing 8. Four more. Two more. And here's the last one. And release. Okay, that was a great shoulder opener. You're going to have felt that throughout the 3 heads of your deltoid, as well as in the back. You may have felt a little bit of that contraction as we slide our shoulder blades in toward the spine. All right, let's do some circles just to loosen things up a little bit more. Relax your arms, sit forward enough on the chair so that your arms are just hanging down by your side. And we're going to start small with little circles that roll around to the back. Gradually increase the size of those shoulders so you can start to be aware of what range of motion you have in your shoulders today. Know that as we're doing these rolls, one of the purposes is to increase the lubrication in that joint this morning. You may have noticed, if you've been with me for a while, that areas in your shoulder that used to click or grind have improved. I hope that's the case. Let's reverse the direction, start small. Now I started my rolls toward the back, and now when I reverse direction, my rolls are coming around to the front. Making sure that you're still sitting up nice and tall and your diaphragm is lifted. And you're breathing as you work those shoulders, just to open them, loosen them. Feel the range of motion available to you today. And notice if there are any areas that are sticking or grinding or making any kind of noise. You want to avoid that and make your range of motion smaller. And let's relax right here. Woo! All right. Let's do a little bit of back work. So starting with prep for the action, placing the hands right here on the top of the thighs, sit up tall, lengthen the spine, relax the shoulders and hinge forward, just folding with a lengthened spine forward to the extent to which you are comfortable. Feel that stretch a little bit through your hips and then return. As you start to come up, be aware that the first action is the squeezing of your gluteal muscles right in the back. Squeeze right there. It protects your lower back. Forward, straight back, flat back. I have my arms in like this so you can see my straight back. But I recommend to get started that you have your hands on your thighs so that when you come up, you can use your hands for support. Squeeze through the buttocks, squeeze those muscles, then add the lower back as you come all the way up to the vertical position. Let's just do 2 more, and then we'll start with the actual exercise. This is a warm-up, a prep for this movement. Forward, squeeze through the buttocks, and bring it back up to vertical. 1 more time. Here we go. Use those arms if you need to. And here we go. And that's what it looks like to use your arms. Just pressing right there on the top of the thighs to assist with that lift. Now we're going to do seated deadlifts and seated good mornings. And if your low back requires that you use your arms for support, please do so. Those of you who don't need to can follow along with me, but be aware that you've got to start this action by squeezing through the glutes. We're going to start with the deadlifts. They're typically done standing in the gym, and they start with a barbell down here. And people are just lifting the barbell from the floor to straight up, using the muscles through the hips and the low back. We're going to do it without weights. This is the core work today, so we're starting to work on the hips and the back. All the way down, wherever you are comfortable with a flat back. Don't roll over. You want your back to be flat, so you're using the correct muscles. Grab pretend weights down here by your ankles or your shins, and then simply stand up if you were standing. Since we're seated, we're just kind of come up into that vertical position and then go right over again. We're doing 8, lift, and lower. Make sure you're breathing. Diaphragm lifted, relax your shoulders. It's a lot to think about. Lift, woo, and return. Here's number 4, lift and return. Notice I am not stopping at either the peak or the valley of this move. Lift, So I come up, but I just keep right on going. And my movements are about the same speed on the lift and the return. Back down. Here we go, 4 more. Woo! Lift. Are we having fun? Smile, everyone. This is a great day. Lift. And back. It's a fabulous, marvelous Monday. Lift. And return. 2 more. Stay with me. Lift. And return. Here's the last one. How did you do? Lift. Yes. And return. And now in the low position, I'm going to have you relax your back and round forward. Woo! Feel that? Feel that relaxing position? How different that is than the flat back position. Allow your head to drop forward and your hands to just dangle down where they can reach. And when you're ready, take your arms, place your hands right here on the top of the thighs, and do use your arms for support as you come back up to vertical. And now if you're like me and being upside down a little bit makes you lightheaded, let's grab some water right here. Woo! Ah, so good. All right. One more for the hips and the low back, and that's our good mornings. Good mornings start in the vertical position. We simply bow forward and come back up to vertical. Again, with a good flat back, a lengthened spine, relaxed shoulders, lengthened neck, abs are tight, diaphragm lifted. Can you remember all that? Yes, you can. Come on along with me. Let's go forward. Bow and return. Again, if you're using your hands, one or both, that's perfectly okay. Begin by squeezing the buttocks. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then you engage the low back as you sit up in the vertical position. Forward, flat back, and return. Make sure you're breathing. And lift. 4 more. And up. Forward. And up. 2 more. And lift. And here's the last one. And lift. Great job. If you need a little bit of water right here, go ahead. We're going to use our unweighted fitness ball now to do some shoulder and upper back work. If you don't have is that too much yellow? Let me get the pink one. I think that's a little better. If you don't have a ball, it's perfectly okay. Just hold your hands in position. Pretend like you have a ball. The ball is unweighted. It's a little bit of a tacky, sticky surface so that I don't drop it. It doesn't slip out of my hands. You can get them on Amazon. Some people have said they found them in the dollar store. Just make sure the surface is a little bit sticky so that you don't drop it. All right, sitting forward in the chair, knees face forward, toes face forward, shins face forward. Your knees are bent at 90 degrees. There's your geometry lesson for the day. All right, let's put that ball directly out in front of us. And begin with some loosening of the shoulders by bringing the ball down and up, and let's alternate sides for 8. Just down to the hip and return. So arm swings very gently down to the side and up. Keep the movement smooth and consistent. Don't let go and swing in that manner, but control the movement. And you know, I have my palms are facing upward or forward as I take the ball down and back. You might prefer to have your palms facing inward. It doesn't really matter. It may feel different to your shoulders. So you find what works for you and what's comfortable. We have just 2 more. Here's the last one. All right, open your legs slightly so that the ball will fit between. And let's just take that ball up and down. Lift and lower. Again, keep the movement smooth. Notice at the height of the movement, the ball is slightly in front of my head, not back here. Lift and return. Good. Let's keep that movement smooth. Nice long lengthened spine. Lift the diaphragm. Lifting, make sure you're breathing. Lift and return. 4 more right here. Lift and return. 3 more. 2 more. And here's the last one. Now try this with me. Place that ball up over your head in the position where I told you is the peak position. And now I do want you to just press it back and return. Be aware of what this feels like. Does this grind on the top of your shoulders? If so, don't do it. Do you feel this a little bit across the top of your shoulders? That's the trapezius muscle. Press back. Feel what we're doing here to your posture. This is helping to improve those muscles. Back. This is a very small movement. 2 more right here. And here's the last one. Woo! Back and release. All right, so now I do feel that cross here. That's the trapezius muscle where your shirt would sit. I feel it a little bit in the back and definitely in the top of the shoulders. All right, let's do our dead bugs. Remember dead bugs? We've been doing these since the very beginning. They do open the shoulders and address the posture. That's a lift up and then an open to the side. Good. We're going to do 8 on each side. Lift and open. Again, with that movement, it's nice and smooth. We try not to stop at the top, in the center, or in the open position. Be aware of a smooth, consistent motion. And open. Four more. Woo! Smiling? Having a good time with me today? 2 more. And here's the last one. And open. Other side. Lift. We're doing 8. Keeping that elbow soft also. Four more. I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. Every class that I teach is my favorite while I'm teaching it. So today, this is my favorite. 2 more. And here's the last one. Woo! Great job. Little bit of water. Let's do some diagonals. First with both hands and a slightly bent elbow. So not a full reach, but just thinking about shoulder level to hip level. Right here in front of you, shoulder level to hip level. We're going to do 4 right here, and then we'll reach farther with full outstretched arms, if you can. If not, just stay right here. One more. Softly bent arms. Good. Now, if you're comfortable with a full arm reach, extend up with straight arms and down to the side. Lift up and down to the side. Can you keep your torso steady? Maybe a gentle twist, but not much, because we really want to focus on what the shoulders are doing. Up and across. Just one more. And across. Let's try that in the other direction. So starting small with 4 little ones, shoulder high to hip high, right here. Here's the last one. And now extending the arms for a full reach, up and down. Good. I see you guys moving. Nice. One more. All right. Let's do some diagonal work with one arm at a time. So starting here, up to the side, and across the body down to the opposite hip. Now, what to do with this other arm? Well, you can hold on to the chair or put your hand on your hip or relax right here. And we're doing 8. Full out stretched arm if you can. Four more. 3. 2 more. And here's the last one, and we're going to switch sides. Up and down. There it is. Four more. And 3. 2. And here's the last one. And back to that first arm. Let's go up on the diagonal and then forward. Up, in at the belly, and forward reach. Up, tummy, forward. Notice there's a little rocking happening here with the torso, very little. And I have my other arm resting on the top of my thigh. Up and forward. Up and forward. 4 more. Woo! Two more. And here's the last one. We're going to switch sides. Go. Four more. Did I miscount again? It's okay. 2 more. And here's the last one. All right. Woo, both hands together, in at the tummy, rock forward. Right in here and forward. Four more. Relax the shoulders. Here's the last one. And in. Let's go out to the side. Keep this a small movement right here, around in front and in at the hip. Reverse that direction. Same size, small circle right here. Round and in. Go a little bit larger, reach a little bit further, rock a little bit around. Let's do 2 right here. We're working up to big ones. Let's go just a little bit larger, reach a little bit further, roll out a little bit more. We'll do 2 right here. All right, 2 more at your fullest reach. Wherever you can reach, that's a full stretch for you, that's comfortable, and you can still control it. So reach out, swing around to the front, pull back in, out to the side, all the way around to the front and in. 1 more to each side. Out, around, and in. Out, around, and in. Great job. Sit a little bit further. Hold that ball right here out from your waist. Now this is going to be challenging. Can you lift your knee to the ball? Can you alternate? Now I'm not moving the ball. I have it right here in front. Lift, lift. Keep it really small. See if you can get those hips working. Lift, lift. I'm barely lifting my foot from the floor. It doesn't have to go very far. 4 more to each side. Tighten the tummy. 3 more. 2 more. Yes, and here's the last set. Good. All right, you can go ahead and put that ball away. I'm going to move the basket a little bit, grab a little bit of water. We're going to do a little bit more hip work. So sitting up tall in your chair, let's just do a leg extension with the heel forward, alternating side. Just reach out with your heel. It's like a heel tap. We do those in our cardio classes, heel taps. But here's what it feels like sitting, where you're really isolating those hip flexors. You have to keep your back straight and strong and your abs tight. Two more to each side. Right and left. Now I want you to do a full leg extension. If you're comfortable with that, you can sit up tall. You can hold on to the seat of the chair if you need a little bit of extra support for your back as you do this. If not, if your back is strong and you feel like this isn't going to pull, you can sit up tall with your hands on your hips. And I just want you to isolate the quadriceps muscle as you extend your leg, unbend the knee and lift. Just extend the lower leg forward and then back to the seated position. Out and in. We're doing 8. Extend. Make sure you're breathing, sitting tall, strong in the chair. Both of your hips are firmly planted so you can feel those hip bones or your sits bones actually in the chair. 4 more to each side, and we're alternating. Toes lifting up toward the ceiling. Two more. And here's the last one, right here. And there we go. All right, we're gonna just do one more, and that's for inner and outer thighs, extending the lower leg just so the foot clears the floor. Like, it doesn't have to be up here. You can if you want to, but that's pretty challenging. Keep the knee bent, keep the legs soft, and just open to the side and return to the front. We're gonna do 8 to each side. Make sure you're sitting nice and tall, diaphragm lifted. Want to make sure your back is supported through this exercise. 4 more. Two more. Let's switch sides. Move that out of the way a bit. And open. Oh gosh, if it's not the basket of balls, it's the water bottle that I'm running into. Open and return. That's it. Four more. And 3. 2 more. Last one. And release. Open those legs out over the edge of your chair, right at the corner, perhaps. If you have the flexibility to go further, you do that, but just open far enough so that we can feel an inner thigh stretch. And I want you to make sure that your knees, wherever you have them open, your shin bone is facing in the same direction, and so are your toes. And as you lean forward with a flat back, hinging from the hips, I'm going to take my forearms right here on the inside of my knees to make sure that my knees aren't collapsing inward, because they do want to do that, and then that compromises the stretch. And I want to make sure I'm getting a good inner thigh stretch for my hips. And here I am, flat back forward, and I'm holding it right here. Forearms against the inner thighs, just above the knees, pressing forward. And return. One more time, forward, stretch. And return. Let's relax. Stay with me for a bit of a cool down, some breath work, and my final slides. So sit comfortably in your chair. We're going to loosen up the neck a little bit for our cool down. Just take that chin right over to the side, looking at your side wall. Release, bring it around through center. Take a look at the other side. Let's go back into the front, chin down. Keep your torso lifted and your back straight so that as you are dropping your chin, you feel that stretch in the upper back and through the back of your neck. Back to center, ear to the shoulder. Back up to center, one more side. Take it to the other side. And release. Be aware of your breath now. Draw your attention right into your breathing. Notice the rhythm and rate of your breath in its returning to normal, natural state right here. Draw your attention now to the rise and fall of your rib cage and your diaphragm. Notice as you lift your diaphragm, as you draw in air, what that feels like. Your rib cage lifts and expands. You're drawing in that good, clean oxygen into your breath, into your body at the end of a good workout, allowing that oxygenation to go through the rest of your body, into your muscles and your blood cells. And with your next intake of breath, I want you to imagine a beautiful color, a glorious color attached to your breath right now, that as you draw it in, you can really focus on that color. And for me today, it's yellow, one of my favorite summer colors. So many flowers are yellow and the sunshine is yellow. So I'm imagining this beautiful, happy, joyful color yellow, and I draw it into my body, allow it to go throughout my body, coloring all of my cells yellow right now, and fill them with joy and happiness and positivity for today. And as I exhale, I'm going to get rid of all the dark and gloomy thoughts, the negativity, judgment, criticism, my do lists. I'm just going to let that go, even if it's for right now. It'll be there later and I'm okay with that. But for right now, I just want to focus on the joy, that glorious feeling of success, because we all showed up and completed this workout together. And that's a wonderful feeling. And I want you to take that with you throughout the day. I'm going to offer you some positive thoughts. Perhaps some of them will appeal to you, will resonate within your spirit, and you can take them with you throughout today. And they're upside down. Try again. I treasure all the experiences I've had in my life, both positive and negative. I treasure the lessons that I have taken along the way on this journey. I am working on developing a positive state of mind. A positive state of mind. It's all too easy to have the negative thoughts automatically pop in there and sort of cloud my judgment and my experiences and my overall happiness. So I'm going to choose to develop the positive side of my brain, knowing that my positive thoughts create a positive life. My positive thoughts create a positive life. Positive feelings, joy, gratitude. Success is an inside job. Success is an inside job. Just for today, just for right now, I love myself. I accept myself as I am. My body, my mind, my spirit, my energy. I accept myself just as I am. I accept all of you, and I hope you accept yourself too. Work on that today. All right, stay with me while I go through my closing slides. Thank you once again for joining me, everyone. Have a great day. Take care.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Stacy. Bye.
Thanks, Stacy. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Stacy.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. Bye-bye, everyone.